Hello, hello. Can you guys see me and hear me? I'm using StreamYard, so I'm not used to it yet. Hold on. Is it working? Okay. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm going to scroll back up to the top a little bit. Okay, so now I can put them up on the screen while I answer them, which will be helpful. Hello, everyone. Let's get a song and a collective message. No, not that one. Iris by Grace Davies. Let's get a collective message to start. Look past what you feel are your incapabilities. Instead, focus on everything you have achieved so far. It is okay to acknowledge your weaknesses, but keep in mind that they don't define you. Your strength and your beautiful soul are clear for all to see. All right, let's get started here. I think I started too far at the top. Hold on one second. Okay. Well, the younger man I was involved with reached back out and turned cold. Oh, this is so much easier with it up on the screen. It looks like he is going through this transformation of something that does not align with your values. You want commitment, and he's aware of that and does not want commitment. It looks like a no. It looks like he's going in the direction of something that's very easy and surface level. Okay, Infinite 13, I'm going to answer it without putting it up on the screen. I don't know if you want me to put that up on the screen or not. So I'm basically living a double life. Will it ever be safe for me to live without hiding? Will I leave where I'm at right now this year? I'm not seeing leaving where you're at this year. And I'm getting the energy of like having to always kind of be very held back in what you say. It doesn't look like there's like a clearing of it, but I'm not seeing movement this year. Should I stay in Texas or move out of the state in 2025? Texas is holding you back from something that is available in the other location that you're thinking of going. So it looks like the better option is to move. Oh, you got a notification? That's good. I like that. Thank you. I'm trying to scroll down and find questions. Is my daughter going to call me? Is she alone? Eventually, yes, but not soon. Whatever you view as soon. Yes, definitely in the future, but patience is needed. Is she alone? It looks like there's someone else with her. The first card I got was Two of Wands. It's like two paths merging together. So it looks like there's one other person with her. When I talk to Kelly and perceive his answer in my thoughts, is it really him? Wow, this is so much easier with this. Yes, big yes. He's finding ways to communicate with you that you'd feel comfortable with. Yeah. There's something specific, like a heavy burden that he's trying to help you release. So Alive by the Goo Goo Dolls. So big yes. Does Rugal love me? Rugal is not honest about something that would change the way you viewed him if he was honest. It feels like there's something he's still stuck on from his past. I'm not seeing love. I'm seeing grasping on for fear of losing you because he knows that there's a reason for you to leave if he were to be honest, unfortunately. Please let me know a message from my guides. Is there a way out of the darkness that surrounds? There's a need for self-forgiveness here. There's a situation where someone really hurt you and you're upset with yourself still from allowing it to continue for as long as it did. You feel like you've betrayed yourself and left yourself behind, and you're like waiting for that version of you to catch back up with you. Somebody Like Me by War Cub. That's interesting because I have King of Wands here. You are the person that has to go back and reconnect with the version of you that you feel like was left behind. Like the age in which this wound occurred, which this feels like a serious relationship or a family member, but it feels like late teens at the earliest. Going back and reconnecting with that version of yourself and kind of forgiving yourself for that is going to free you to start to see opportunities to move forward. At the center of your being, you know who you are and what you want. Let go of everyone else's expectations and embrace your own. You are already everything you need. Will my much loved estranged daughter come back to our family this year? She has some very aggressively toned man in her ear that's kind of like making decisions for her, like through her. It looks like she eventually frees herself from that man. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be this year. There's a lesson that she has to learn here about letting people dictate her state of mind. She eventually frees herself from it, but I don't feel like it's this year. It feels like maybe the next 3 to 5 years. The moon in reverse flipped over, so that would be like things coming out, her seeing clearly type energy. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to my financial stability this year? There's something that, yes, there's freedom here. I wouldn't necessarily say this year. I would say that there's something you can learn this year to be there in the next, I want to say like 2 to 3 years. But it's like a strategy that you're not taking advantage of, that if you took advantage of, it would free you in some way. It's like lifting the load type of thing. I don't know what that means, but lifting the load. Will I meet my future husband this year? Your future husband is still trying to balance work life. Like this person is right now very invested in their career, or very invested in schooling. It feels like career though. You are meant to be doing a mirrored effect of that right now, pouring yourself into your passion, your hobby, your career, and the two of you will align in time. But right now, this person is all the way focused on career. Yeah, you have the patience required. Is my cousin Alice happy we have blue? It eases her mind. And there's no one else she'd rather see have blue. And it eases her mind. I believe that I have a couple spiritual gifts. Do I? So you have two gifts like prominently that back up one another well. You have others as well, but like two prominent gifts that complement each other well, almost like if you can hear stuff and then clarify with cards, or like you can do channel drawing and have it match something. Like you have something like that, like an open channel for that. And also something with like speech. Think like increased gifts while in the process of using the throat chakra in some way. So like straight out channeling type things. Kind of just like putting yourself in a trance state and channeling. How will my daughter and grandson be okay on their own? It's going to take time. He has to learn to lean on other people who want to support him. He's carrying everything on his own shoulders. They'll be okay, but he needs to learn to like not feel like he has to hold it all in on his own. Like he needs to either, that could be even like getting financial help, it could be getting emotional help, but there's like he needs to open up to the support that's possible. So yes, but it'll take time. Does my best friend have a message for me or her kids? Kids, yes. She says, of course you do. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to heal. She sees how far they've come and she's very proud of them. Speak things into existence, the power of your tongue. Like they're able to create such purposeful paths. More people see them than they know. I don't know how that translates, but more people see them than they know, like in a positive way. She's left them some kind of sign, almost like a recurring thing they keep finding or keep running into. She's trying to show them that she's still there. And for you, she says, thank you for being there. And thank you for taking on that role. I'm not sure what that means. Taking on the role. Oh. Over the Rainbow by Israel Kamakawi is the song. I think that one's for the kids. Finances in 2024. It looks like there's going to be some challenges. It feels like avoidable challenges. So I don't know if that means just kind of tightening up your spending. I don't know if it means focusing differently on what you're doing to create that path for yourself. Something is not going in the direction of a positive change. So you need a pivot. Something's out of balance. Yes, like temperance in reverse. Something's out of balance. This is the year of kind of identifying the imbalance and then fixing it, if that makes sense. I almost feel like I want to say like reinvestment or like shift of investment. That can be investment of time or money. Health, anything serious? Nothing serious that you can't handle. It's going to be something that you're going to have to do something about, but that there's a solution. There's something that after it's healed, you're going to find that you feel better than you did before it started being a problem, if that makes sense. Like it's been affecting you longer than you realize, but once you heal it, you'll feel better than you did for a while, if that makes sense. Does my son have an addiction? There's something going on. It feels like, let me see if I want to say addiction or not. I wouldn't say addiction, but there's use of something that probably is veering on going in a negative direction, but I wouldn't say it's addiction yet. It feels just like something that has recently bumped up that was used to be less frequent than it is now. Should I proceed with a divorce, and should I seek my mom's home keep it? Yes, it feels like you've tried everything else, and the other person is not willing to get on the same page as you. It feels like you may have kind of like, I don't know what else is like, buyer's remorse, not in that sense, but like you may feel a lot of tension right after you do it, and then it'll kind of ease, but it feels like you've tried everything else. As far as the house, getting a no, like either sell or release. It's like something, I almost want to say not worth the stress or something along those lines, or there's something better. DMK. DV situation. Put a shadow over me and my spiritual journey. Will it lift soon? It will lift. It feels like you need like a cord cutting from this person. It feels like this person is still in your energy, and that can be because the other person has used something to get into your energy, or that can be that this person is just thinking about it. So I don't know, that's not what you would hear, but thinking about it so much that they're still kind of hanging on to your energy. It feels like you're addressing how you feel, but from a brain standpoint, like you're thinking how you feel. It feels like you're almost scared to fully let out how you feel, because if you actually said it out loud, like how it affected you, you feel like people would like just be too worried about you, or too, you're scared that if you actually let out all your feelings, people would take it too far. So there's a need to find a way to let it out to either someone that feels safe, or let it out to yourself. It'll help give you clarity. It's like there's a lot of mind traffic, and it needs to move into your heart space, but you need to let it all out to do that. It feels like those things will help. Will my son finally see his girlfriend for what she is? And will my granddaughter and I move back together? It's going to be a while. A pattern needs to repeat enough times for him to pick up on it. It's like right now, he's associating the pattern with something else. He's like associating the pattern with like maybe love bombing from her or something. Like when this happens, I get love bombed, and then it's like a cycle. The cycle needs to be witnessed by him. I almost, it'll happen eventually, but I almost feel like she has to mess up and start a cycle with like, when this happens, something bad happens. Like she has to kind of get lazy in the cycle, and then he'll realize. But it'll be a minute. And a song, Earth Angel by the Penguins. Advice or song pertaining to necessary shadow work. Why am I so washed out? I need to put a curtain up. It feels like you are trying to address shadow work from the perspective of like, what is wrong with me? Like, why couldn't I do this yet? Why am I holding on to this yet? It needs like a different perspective of these shadows are kind of like my friends in a way because they allowed me to have the experiences necessary to evolve. So it's kind of like cliche to say like befriend your shadows, but looking at them from a different perspective, not like they're there to harm you, more like they're there to teach you. So it's more of like, what can I learn from them? It feels like a perspective shift. Um, your next chapter is going to cause a lot of people to wish they treated you better. There's also this avoidance of being honest about your shadows because your shadows, when you're being honest about them, paint certain individuals in a bad light because they did not show you a very good side of themselves. So there's this like subconscious protection of these people going on because if you look at them for what they really caused you, it's like you wouldn't be able to see them in the way you could before. So there's a need to, I guess, get very honest with yourself about other people's roles in your shadow. Um, if they decided to play the villain, that's the role they decided to play, and it made you feel how it made you feel. So it's like being honest with yourself about that. Let me put the other playlist back on really quick. Okay. Um, I feel like I went back to the top by accident. Hold on one second. Yes, I definitely went back up to the top. How did that happen? Will my grandson Cash, who has delayed speech, improve? He is going to be 8. I don't know why it keeps repeating in my head to try a heavy metal detox, if that is something that you'd be open to. Um, it feels like, is improvement possible? Yes, but it feels like whatever is the like protocol, whatever's happening right now, isn't the way to get there. Like something needs to be added. I would say look into heavy metal detox. If that's something that you'd be open to or that they'd be open to. It looks like improvement is possible, but there needs to be something additional done other than whatever's being done right now. Am I hearing my son's voice in my thoughts who passed 2 years ago? The mother card, yes. You heard him right away. You heard him right away because he needed to keep you in the right vibration to continue hearing him. Even though you didn't recognize it at first. Yeah. Knight of Cups with Queen of Cups. Even though you didn't recognize it at first, it was the same thing all along. It was like at first he was trying to teach you the code to understand, and now you're kind of translating that code. That's why now it feels like you're talking to him because he's kind of uploaded the code in your brain of this is how I'm going to communicate. So now it's like faster. Um, but it's always been there. He's funny, huh? Even though I am not here in the physical world, I can feel your loving warmth and I hope you feel mine too. She does. Imagine by John Lennon. 1 second. Okay. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. He's like, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. What do I need to do to move my next step forward? Taking action. It feels like you're going in the wrong direction career-wise. You have the right tools, but you're not in the right area to use them. There's this dream bigger energy, like you're selling yourself short by what you're striving for. It's be willing to take that bet on yourself. There's something that you're on the fence of. And yeah, you're not all the way trusting yourself, but the possibility for victory is there if you take action. So it's like a dream bigger. Don't hold yourself back from taking the leap instead of the step, if that makes sense. Is Uncle Gary visiting me at night? He's bringing you it feels like bringing you downloads that need to happen only in his presence. So this could be wanting to get past any kind of monitoring energy. It's yeah, I don't want my message to get interrupted. Yeah, that would make me very upset if my message got interrupted. So I bring it down to you myself. Yeah. Hitting an emotional wall. Sometimes walls are there so we can lean on them and rest. He says that's the confirmation that you needed. Is it possible he's thinking of leaving us on Earth? More like he's falling into not a great state. It's more like confusion. There may be some kind of mental health break here. It doesn't feel like he's at that stage yet, at least, but not necessarily doing what your inklings are correct in the direction that it's likely heading if something doesn't change, if that makes sense. Is there a message from my dad, Eric? Who You Are by Jessie J is the song. Who You Are, my daughter. Don't settle for things that are below you. You have the shine that you are trying to find. You already have it. You just need to unveil it. Yeah, see, told you. He said I said what I said. I said what I said. Hold on. I have no more earthly worries. I feel like these sunflowers are significant spirit orbs. You've seen him or you've noticed him around before. When the universe wants us to grow, she will often shake us out of our comfort zone. Yeah, he said, put your walls down and step out of step forward. He's saying, like, remember, I'm living through you. So like, let's make it great. Not that you're not already. He's very proud of you, but like he wants you to do the things that you've been holding back on. Let's see how far. Any message from my spirit guide? You've healed it. Now you have to transmute it. Like you understand what needed to be healed. You've done the work to heal it. It's like time to move on to the next stage. Yeah, it's like you're keeping yourself stuck on thinking you need to heal more. But now it's like, what can I do with what I learned from my healing? There's a death and a rebirth that you're resisting here. You made it through the hard part, is what I'm hearing. If you think you are alone, you are not. We are right beside you in all the challenges that you face. Trust that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome in every situation. We have your best interests at heart. That was pretty direct. We are with you. Is my mom at peace and is she with me? She's like, I'm on the other side of the gates, but I'm still with you. There's something she shows you in the house. It almost feels like a hallway. Like there's something, I don't know if it's like light you always notice on the wall. It's like very subtly reminding you of her presence. Yeah, it feels like when you're walking down a hallway or something. Hallway and light. Like you're walking somewhere in the house and you always feel her presence in that same area. My mind is free. If I Didn't Have You by Thompson Square is the song. Am I having a spiritual awakening, or is my stepdad, Jerry, trying to send me a message? Jerry is saying, stop doubting yourself. Happiness is a choice. Open up that throat chakra. You are the magician. You are able to alchemize what it is that you're holding back on right now. Oh, yep, holding back. Sometimes you must make a decision that will break your heart, but bring peace to your soul. It's like you need to step into this rebirth by cutting something out or cutting something off or cutting someone off. It could be changing a mindset. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm a Believer by the Monkees. Will my life and health start getting better now? The ball is in your court here, but there's something that's not serving you that's still happening. I feel like there's something you're not doing to take care of yourself that you could be doing better, or there's like a shift in focus needed. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. They only sink when they let the water get inside. you're bringing something in and it's making you feel like you're drowning. It might be your health that's overstressing you, but there's a need to like get in emotional flow, get in that flow state, because that's the healing state. Right now, there's some kind of imbalance. So needing to address the imbalance, and then it will start getting better. I feel like life and health are tied together right now. They'll start improving together because they're both coming from the same root source of that stress, if that makes sense. Will my son ever get married? It feels like he has to want that. I do see the possibility of a union. It feels like it's going to take a while to get to the marriage state. There's like something holding him back from really, like, if it got there, really going there. I do see. I feel like it will be available to happen. It's going to be if he decides that that's what he wants at that time, if that makes sense. Joanne, any message from my deceased father? You made the right decision. You made the decision that the childhood version of you and the version of him that you remember from childhood, version of him that you remember from childhood, like when you were a child and you think of him back then, right? And you think of what he would be so beaming proud of you about, the decision you made is that version of him. Like he wants you to remember him that way. Something about like roots strong like a tree or something like that. Never Alone by Jim Brickman and Lady A. You treat people and speak to them from your soul. You operate from your spiritual side, and they respond to you from their human side. That is what hurts. That is his message. How can I reconnect with my niece? Does she want to reconnect? Feels like she's dealing with something right now. That's having her want to stay in a comfort zone with anything else. So like reconnecting would be something new, and that would be leaving a comfort zone that she's staying in to avoid dealing with something. It feels like it could be a romantic situation that kind of threw her off. Maybe not a romantic situation, maybe a friendship. It feels like give her time, because right now, like, I feel like you're gonna need to be the one to reach out, but right now is not the best time. She needs to handle whatever she's dealing with first to be open to it. Will I find love and will I have another child? Will you find love? Yes. The child part, I'm seeing it's up in the air. But I don't know if it necessarily feels like a medical reason. It feels more like maybe that you decide against it, or maybe there's something like that. Not that it's not possible, but I just don't feel like that's like a all the way sure decision yet, either by you or the other person that you end up marrying. You tell me if and when I'll find a property. Yes, you will. If you've already started like the process and putting feelers out there, it looks like it's going to be another 6 to 9 months, 6 to 10 months. If you haven't started, like whatever step comes first, it feels like not just looking, like the step after just looking, when you start like contacting and stuff and putting maybe bids and stuff out there, from that point, about 6 to 10 months. But yes, you will. And if that's already started, then 6 to 10 months from now. I have to switch the playlist back. Ready or not. So yes, you will. Is my aunt trying to sabotage me? Oh. It's a throwing stones and hiding my hand situation. Yep. The moon in reverse, as I said that. It's a throwing stones and hiding my hand situation. So it looks sabotagey, yes. What is the future of my business? You get out of your head and make some kind of change, and it really pays off. It almost feels like something goes bad, you make a change, and then it pays off, and it starts going better than it was before it was shifting to the negative, if that makes sense. It feels like almost like you save it. Yeah. You shift perspective on something and it ends up going better than you imagined it going. But like not until some kind of trouble that makes you make the shift, which that could have already happened. But if not, then that needs to happen first. Which I guess that could also be avoidable. Like if you know there's a shift and that hasn't happened yet, you could make the shift and avoid that, if that makes sense. Will I find a way out of my darkness? You're going through a dark night of the soul. So yes, but it's like needing to dive into it and it's almost like you when you initially started feeling like under the dark cloud, you weren't in the dark night of the soul yet. So when the dark night of the soul really started coming, when these shadows started coming to the surface to be healed, you were like, I've already been dealing with this, and kind of like shut down to the new shadows. So it's kind of like there's things coming to the surface to be addressed, that come with a lot of tension. Have you forgotten that you've survived every onslaught of darkness and fought through hell to get here? Oh, can you see that? So yeah, just kind of remembering that you're able to handle all these things as you face them. Yeah, action needed, like needing to dive in is really the message. Is my son and I going to reconcile? Yes, but you're going to have to be the one to reach out. And it feels like the timing is not right now. You know, he's going through something. He needs more time. So you have to kind of gauge it, but you're going to have to be the one to reach out, but he needs more time. So yes, but not right now. Will I meet my romantic partner and soulmate? Ooh, big yes. It feels like this person right now is kind of leaving a situation that they're in. So it feels like it's going to be a little bit. This person's breaking out of a cycle, which means soulmate, you'd be also breaking out of a cycle. So just kind of focusing on getting yourself all the way out of that cycle will help kind of move you towards this person. But it feels like it's going to be a little bit. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. Does she have chances against it? So it feels like it will eventually be the reason that she goes when she does, but it feels like she has like a prolonged fight against it, if that makes sense. Oh, I did this one. Is he thinking on leaving us on Earth? I did this one, right? What did I say? Yes, or no, not yes. He's on the path. He's not doing necessarily that great mentally, but is not at that stage yet. But you're right to think that there's something going on. You're reading the energy correctly. I feel like this thing keeps going back up in the chat. Will my bad relationship with money finally change for the better this year? Your money wound is linked to an inner child wound. So either like how your people who raised you viewed money growing up, it's like that's what needs the shift is getting in touch with your inner child and see how your inner child is viewing money. It feels like there's kind of this self-worth element of it, and then there's also this I just want to say it's like I feel like I should be further by now, so I hold myself back from getting there as like this subconscious punishment. um oh yeah. Oh, yeah, there's some self-sabotage when it comes to that. So knowing that will help you, but it looks like it's turning around. It's connected to a big wound. That's what it is. It's like subconscious self-sabotaging because you're avoiding, when you get deep enough in it, what it's going to connect to, because it connects to a bigger wound. So being willing to kind of do that inner child shadow work to access that depth, if that makes sense. Will I find more love and will I have more babies? Babies, yes. Love, it feels like you want more commitment than the other person is going. Like, it feels like the person that the babies come from, it almost feels like you want more commitment, and it either takes a while to get there or they're not meeting you on the same page. But it does look like there's a relationship and babies. It's just not like everything you would wish it to be, if that makes sense. I had to leave a 4-year relationship due to a very traumatic DV situation. I feel this cast a looming shadow over me and my spiritual journey. Will that lift soon? Wait, I did this one too. Yeah, I did this one too. Why does it keep scrolling back up to the top? Hold on. Okay. I went to the interview today. You said I would get the job. My last reading. Will they call back before Wednesday? No, it doesn't look like you're getting a call back that quickly. Is this the one where I said yes, but? No, I don't think it is. It almost feels like they offer to somebody else and the other person doesn't take it and then they call you. So it feels like it may be a minute before you get the actual call, if that makes sense. My father-in-law passed away. Is he happy with the way that things are going? Either you just got to a light at the end of the tunnel, or he's looking forward to a light at the end of the tunnel, or he's saying to you that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like he's trying to come through and communicate with someone that's a little bit shut off to it. So he's saying that this person can use music to communicate with him, like make a playlist and shuffle songs as you kind of communicate with him. It's not all the way happy. Like there's something off, and I feel like you know kind of what it is. Like, not that he's saying everything's wrong, it's just not everything as good as it could be in some area, if that makes sense. We will be together again. Stop second guessing and wondering what if. You made the right decision. Let me see what his song is. The Times They Are a Changin' by Bob Dylan is the song. Is my son on the correct career path? It feels like the career path he's on right now, there's only so much room for growth, and he's eventually going to want more growth than what's available. Like, it feels like it's not necessarily what he's doing, it's how much he's achieving in what he's doing. And there's a lid on that, either in his current employer or his current field. So it looks like eventually he's going to want to kind of break through that lid, if that makes sense. Almost like the lid will make him feel like he's underachieving at some point, and that's eventually going to get him to not want to stay in that direction or that place of business. My husband is very abusive emotionally. Will I be able to finally divorce him? Yes, but you have to make sure that your T's are crossed and I's are dotted. Like, expect everything that could possibly be used to flip against you to be flipped against you. So yes, but making sure that, like, covering yourself in that way, making sure that, I don't know, everything is clear. I don't know what that means, but like everything is like clear before carefully doing it. Yes. Will I get a new job soon? Will my anxiety affect this? I'm feeling like your anxiety is affecting it right now. It's needing to break out of a cycle of thought that feels like it's like pushing opportunities away. I'm not seeing a job as soon as you would like one. It's almost like not looking in the right direction, or not going through the right process to like if you're doing it online, maybe do it in person, like a different method and a little bit of a pivoted direction. But it also feels like you're very anxious about not only getting the job, but then not getting the job. There's like, it feels like you need to kind of get very clear about what you want, why you want it, and start to make a process of alleviating the anxiety that could be pushing away the right opportunities, if that makes sense. Will my daughter end up in a relationship with her longtime friend crush this year? So it's either no or it's yes, and one of them ends up like getting like, it almost feels like I miss the friendship when I get into it, or I just choose the friendship over trying it. It feels like that. Yeah, it feels like they're not really on the same page with that. Will my health and body return to thin and functional allow me to have a baby this year? It feels like it's going to happen, but it feels like it's going to take more than this year. It feels like you have a moment of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and how you handle the 1 step back is going to determine how soon into like the next year or two that unfolds in the way that you'd like. I do see it happening, but it's still a little bit of more of a process than what you would like it to be. Yeah, patience required. So yes, but a little bit longer than you would like it to be. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn off this light because it is really bright. Oh, that's not better at all. Okay. Is that worse? I feel like that's worse. Hold on a second. Okay. Here we go. Let me see where we're at. Hold on, I'm trying to get some new comments. I feel like I answered these ones. Should I stay no contact with my dad? Yeah, that looks to be the better option. Oh, The Reckoning by Need to Breathe. It feels like it would pull you backwards. Yeah, Justice in reverse. I also have Ten of Wands. Queen of Swords in reverse. It's like not worth the bungee cord pulling on you constantly, feeling like you're having to like run ahead just to keep up with your healing. Like it feels like it would bring you backwards. That's not to say that in the future things can't change, but right now it feels like he's running from himself, and that would affect you negatively. Message from my father. He says to tell you he's coming up as the King of Pentacles. Find more enjoyment in the journey. Stop rushing through. Stop busybodying yourself away from like feeling and really being present. He's saying that people are inspired by you and you don't even see it. Like you don't see it in yourself what people are inspired by in you. Take It Easy by the Eagles. Yeah, slow down. He's saying you're rushing through. There's no finish line that you're going to. Like the finish line is each moment. Like each moment is a new moment. TV glitches and your phone glitches when I'm sending you signals, and pay attention to synchronicities. He's really trying to get your attention. It's almost like he's trying to get your attention in the moment when you're having certain thoughts so that he can give you the answer or give you confirmation or something like that. Not the timer. He's like, I said slow down. Be more present. Was my cousin's death accidental or foul play? Almost feels like somebody watches an accident happen. Or like takes advantage of a situation. It feels like it's like a mix of both. I don't know really how that translates, but it feels like it's a mix of both. That could also be some kind of like it's not purely accidental. Somebody else, but it's also not. It's like a mix, I guess you'd say. It feels like someone took advantage of a situation that was unfolding. It could be didn't get help, depending on what happened. It's weird. It's not like a clear cut thing, I guess you'd say. I feel like this is not bringing me down to the bottom. Will my Cancer return in the future? It feels like yes, but almost like I almost want to say not as bad, like something that's more manageable or easier the second time or the next time than it was the last time. But it also feels like it's going to be a bit. It's not going to happen for a while, but that's not to say to be worried about it and like call it in, because anything is possible, but it feels like it is going to give you more trouble in the future, just not as much trouble as it's already given you. It feels like you're like through the worst part of it. So I don't know if that just means it's caught really soon than the next time or something along those lines. Message from one's closest that passed. You feel like you're missing the lesson, or you feel like there's something you're very feeling like you left a piece of you back there, or like you didn't all the way, I'm gonna sneeze, learn the lesson in something. Hold on. Excuse me. But you did, like, you are cycling back through something that's keeping you stuck, but you've already done whatever needed to happen to move forward. I don't know how this translates, but someone's saying you need to watch comedy. Like, I don't know if that's you need to like loosen up and have fun, or like literally watch comedy, but you need to watch comedy. It almost feels like they're saying you need to watch it again, or something like that. And whatever it is that is your mountain right now, you're almost at the top of it, is what I'm hearing. Let me get a song. Oh, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I didn't even realize that was playing. You've Got a Friend by James Taylor is the song. Okay, I see this one, but I can't find the comment. So Linda Plowip, I'm going to answer. Our mansion contractor caused a fire in our home and won't open a claim. What do I need to do? Will I win a lawsuit if I start? It's going to be time and stress. It will go in your favor. It may not be everything that you wanted out of it, but it will go in your favor. But it's going to take some time for some reason. It almost feels like they find a way to buy a delay, not like buy, but like get a delay, hoping that you'll just give up on it or something like that. I don't know how that would be, but that's what it feels like. Yeah, keeping you stuck in a cycle. It's going to cause you some serious stress. I can tell you that. It feels like they purposely try and cause stress. Like they're like a nuisance about it to try and get you to drop it before it goes all the way through. I don't know how that would be. Making sure you're being very thorough in your paperwork is what I'm hearing. It does eventually go in your favor, but it takes some time. It almost feels like it takes longer than it should normally take. Samantha, I'm just answering these from the top really quick. I don't know where the comments are. Will my syndrome get better and will I have more energy? Samantha Thatcher. There's something that needs to be done that's not already being done. So yes, you can get better, but it almost feels like something's thinking out of the box, or I don't know. It's like the root cause hasn't been addressed yet, or the root cause needs to be addressed in a different way. So you can get better, but there needs to be something done differently to get you there. Raymond, will I find a job soon? I filled out for a lot of jobs. I don't see one coming through that you already applied for, but I see one coming through. So I know it's not what you want to hear because I know it's annoying to do that, but it feels like you need to keep going and keep filling them out because there is one coming, but it's not one that you applied for yet. And go to the bottom here. Am I where I need to be? Am I on the right path? No, there's a perspective shift needed. It's like you think there's a wall, but there's a door there. You just have to kind of unveil the door. Yeah, it's like a change of direction. You're where you need to be to get to where you want to go, but now you need to figure out where you want to go. That's kind of the message. Does my mom's best friend try and communicate with her? She's telling me a song right off the bat. If I didn't have you by Thompson Square, this life would kill me if I didn't have you. If it feels like your mom has like caught herself in the moment questioning it a lot, like was that her? Was that not her? It's almost like she's saying you already know the answer. Like you know it clear as day, you just deny it. I feel like she doesn't all the way believe in that kind of stuff, but also at the same time, it feels like her best friend tries to make it undeniable, like clear as day, to get her to believe it. Something about trinkets, a jewelry, a ring, or bracelets. Maybe she has some of hers. Maybe she moves hers around. Will I ever find a true friend? Knowing that you have something to bring to the friendship too. It's kind of the mindset that is attracting the wrong friends when it comes to trying to convince them that you're worthy of friendship. So approaching it from a different angle. Will you find friends? Yes, but the situation needs to be approached differently. Almost like you've been attracting lessons of what kind of friends you don't want by focusing on when things go wrong, trying to find fault with yourself. So your spirit team is kind of like, oh, if you still think there might be fault with you when it was just their projections, we'll give you another chance to heal it, if that makes sense. So kind of needing to reframe mindset. Will my career and financial situation improve? Needing to try something different. Yes, I do have eventual improvement. but something definitely needs to change. It almost feels like you have an opportunity to invest in something that would help you change it, or needing to reallocate certain things. Um, it'll improve after you've taken action, and it takes a little bit to improve after that. And it's almost like you have to stick with some kind of action in order to improve it. Almost like starting a lawnmower, like you have to pull it a couple times. It feels like that for some reason. I don't know how that translates, but like a couple big pushes of effort, and then it starts to improve, I guess, is what I'm saying. Will I meet my true love and be with him? Yes, but there's a need to be in receiving mode. It's almost like you're so used to being the overgiver that it's pushed you into the divine masculine when it comes to that. And the person is, you're going to balance you out in a way that requires you to not be in an overgiver state, because then this person doesn't have the chance to give to you and have you receive. So it looks like kind of working on being in a state of receiving is key there. I don't know if I got all these. Denise, should I move to Oregon or California? California would be tougher, but more opportunity, but also more challenging. Oregon, it's almost like you're, at first you would doubt that you made the right decision once you're there, and then you'd start to ease into it. But then you'd also kind of question if there was more possibility in California. Um, I would say if you're up for the challenge, California looks like the better option. But again, it's going to be a challenge, at least at first. Do I have a message from my grandfather, Sasha? People are going to project onto you because you are a mirror. And at first, when people are feeding you their false light, they're putting you up high because you are feeding back to them their false light. It's when they start to show you their darkness that they start to project that onto you because they're seeing it as your fault. You're a very pure soul. And he's saying, don't let people make you lose that because of how they handle their projections. Did you say grandfather? Grandfather. The song Father and Daughter came up by Paul Simon. I almost feel like he has the energy of like a father to you, or like he views you like a daughter. I have become one of your spirit guides. Oh, that's why he's telling you that. That's part of a soul lesson for you. To not, I guess, to not hold things personally when people project onto you. Will my jaw heal and will I seek legal help? Or should I seek legal help? Heal all the way. It feels like you're going to have problems with it ongoing. Seek legal help. it almost feels like you need to be able to show them that you have a continued problem to get the help. So I don't know if that means needing to wait a little bit to do anything, or if it means to kind of put something out there now and then maybe not get the results you want and then have to refile or something like that. I almost feel like, yes, get legal help, but it's also not going to be very easy to go about it, if that makes sense. Any more brain surgeries for me to have? Almost feels like whatever you had so far, there may be like a less invasive. I don't know how brain surgery could be less invasive. It feels like there's something, but it's not a repeat of what already happened. But it also looks like it's going to go well. So there's something, but it's not like the same as what already happened, if that makes sense. I think I did these. Will I find a strong love connection in 2024? In 2024, no, it feels like 2025. After there's, I was going to say, like pulling the cork out of emotions, like needing to kind of let it all out and work through what comes out, healing. It feels like there's something still in there from the past that's not aligning you with the person that wants to come in. It feels like the person that you will find is someone who's very secure in knowing what they want and knowing what they have to offer. So it feels like you kind of getting ready to match that same energy in 2025. Song or message from my soulmate that crossed over. I tried to pass the song and I no, that one. I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. You're not incorrect to feel the connection still so strong. When you mean that much to a person, it doesn't just turn off. He's still very much with you, or they're still very much with you. Acknowledge the importance of it's the little things that count, and I will always point you in the right direction. There's a certain memory. I almost want to say it's like something on a dock or something outside. There's a certain memory that he's bringing up that he just wants to share. But there's also something in that memory that will help you make the decision or a decision, if that makes sense. Like thinking about that memory will help you be like, oh, this is the decision that he would tell me to make, or they would tell me to make, if that makes sense. Are mine and my husband's moms okay? Also, do they have any messages for us? They're showing me like lily pads, like being on lily pads. I don't know how that translates, but being on lily pads, like at peace, like kind of like floating at ease. It feels like one of them was like gives me the energy of like fighting at the end of life, or like really having like a lot of struggles in life and like finally being at peace, or just kind of having a lot of responsibilities and finally being at peace. Either you or your husband are holding on to like a lot of tension that is causing more harm than good, so it needs to be addressed. It almost feels like one of you really needs a massage. That feels like a mom thing to say. I'm a Believer by the Monkeys. Find the strength and confidence to move forward. I am here helping you with the white flag. Yeah, the tension. It's like whatever it is that's causing one of you all the tension. This is such mom-like advice. Like they're saying it needs to be addressed. Like stop sweeping it under the rug. It's not tension between you and your husband though. It's like someone's anxiety or emotion, something like that. Like needing to be back in a flow state is very important. I'm gonna stay on for about probably do till 3 o'clock. Hold on one second. Let me make sure. Okay, I'm gonna stay until 3 o'clock. Go to the bottom. Am I contagious and will my health interfere with my new job? It feels like contagious, no. Interfere with job, yes. I can't tell if it's like really struggling while there or needing to take extra time off than they would like, but it does look like it's going to pose a challenge. But it also feels like there's either there's a solution that they'll agree to with you, or it's short-lived. So it ends up being okay, but after a challenge. Am I meant to have any abilities in this lifetime? It honestly feels like mediumship is what calls to you. Ace of Cups, as I said that. And Judgment and Death here. It feels like mediumship is really what calls to you. So yes. Specifically, like feels like specifically like the grief side of mediumship. So like processing grief through mediumship, which I guess is really what mediumship is, but it feels like that's the focus. Will I be okay? Something needs to change before you're okay. There's a solution available, but it feels like needing to figure out what is not making you be okay and start to really change those things instead of kind of waiting for the external environment to change in some way. It's like if you think you've taken charge or taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, do it even more, like needing to step up even more into that role. Any messages my dad has? Well, he watches down on you, like from the rooftop there. Peaceful, easy feeling by the Eagles. Any messages? You feel like you're going to fall back into a cycle from the past, but you already learned the lesson. So while you may get tested sometimes to see, to like clarify that you learned the lesson, you already learned the lesson. So it's not like a, oh, I'm coming to get you, like the lesson from the cycle from the past. It's just opportunities to show yourself that you've broken the cycle already. So stop judging yourself so harshly. Through healing, your story becomes the story that sets you free. What couldn't break you sets you free. He's also saying, so there's some kind of situation where someone had to be the bigger person, and whoever it is kind of feeling like, was that the right decision? And he's saying it's always the right decision because your point will be made through your actions and through what you allow, if that makes sense. Sometimes I move things around in your house. Sorry if you find something missing. I have always loved you, always will, never forget that everlasting love never dies. Another playlist back on. Fight Song by Rachel Platten is also coming on. Any messages from my guides, loved ones that I need right now? Will I move to Spain or Dubai? It feels like Spain has better opportunities that would align with what you want long term. It feels like if you go to Dubai, it's going to be kind of more short lived and you'll want to eventually leave because of opportunities, it feels like, that are found in Spain. The message I'm getting from like your ancestors and guides is that you already know the answer. It's in what lights you up. It's in what really gets you feeling driven. It is what you should be following right now. Was Jason's death an accident or health related? It feels like there is something health related, but it also feels like this particular thing was more of an accident, but something health related didn't help in the accident, if that makes sense. Any messages from my guides? second. Okay, any message from my guides? You need to kind of open up the channel here. Give them better ways to communicate with you. I always say, like, through music, make a playlist and kind of have it what you could kind of bounce thoughts and ideas and get communication from your guides. It feels like it almost feels like there's a piece of your Akashic records that's trying to come to you to help you understand an area where you're not thriving as much as you could be. But it's like it needs you to see it unfolding to understand it for yourself, kind of thing. So needing to kind of give your guides a way to talk back and forth with you is the message. Voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support. Yeah, giving them a way to communicate with you. Can my late parents see my grandchildren on Earth? So one of the cards that fell on the ground was the Ten of Pentacles. So them up there, the kids on Earth, that's a yes. It almost feels like they haven't really presented themselves in a way that the kids can see them too. But they are seeing them, yes. It almost feels like they want to kind of give signs and messages and stuff, and maybe they feel like they're not ready. Or maybe they have been and they just have been missing them. I am not dead. Yeah. So yes, definitely. Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. Messages from your ex-husband. Was it him who caused harm to the girls? Yes. Truth and betrayal there. So yes. Any messages from him? Regret, disappointed in himself. You deserve better than what was offered in this situation. Yeah, he knows he let you down. My brother and I have the same father. Yes, but there is something that you don't know about. Like there's some your brain is picking up on, your intuition is picking up on a secret. There is a secret, but it doesn't feel like it's that. It looks like the same father. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure I'm not too far behind. I'm going to do a couple more. Ex-husband passed suddenly in September. Does he have a message for me or us? Is there more I can do for our son? Your son is feeling it deeper than he's expressing. So kind of just being aware of bringing in as much comfort elements as possible. You're doing a great job. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. You're doing a great job. It's just, it almost feels like he's processing it a little bit more than you realize he's processing it, but he's not able to express it. Yeah, just kind of supporting, bringing in as much comfort as possible. My Wish by Rascal Flatts. Well, that's definitely for your son. Well, both of you. Release any guilt or blame you may feel. It is not your fault. And he is very much there with you, and you're doing a great job. He just wanted to let you know it almost feels like you're hoping he's not processing it as much as he's processing it, but he is processing that, but you can't see it at that level, if that makes sense. Will I be with the man I love? Is he sincere? It feels like there's an opportunity to be together, but you may discover something that you don't necessarily know yet that you don't really like about him. And it depends on if that's something that you decide you want to get past or not. It looks like there's eventually going to be something that comes to the surface that is almost makes you question if that's what you want or not. But it looks like the option will eventually be there. I'm going to do one more, and then I have to go make Gavin a snack. Any message from my grandpa and song? Trust your intuition. More specifically, trust your gut. Like, trust your gut. Your gut is on point. You get these very quick, like, answers. And he's like, that's me. Trust it because it's me. Heaven's Not Far by We Three. He said, that's me. There's something that you're meant to like be exploring. It feels like either something about yourself or something that's like intellectually stimulating that would help level up. He's showing me like a tree rooting in deeply to the ground so that it can sprout really high and be really strong. It's like focus on the rooting right now, the grounding and the rooting. Give yourself more credit, especially for your mind. Like, I don't think you don't realize how much more intelligent you are than most people. And it feels like it's that makes you feel separate from other people sometimes, and you kind of blame yourself, but it's not that, it's just your intelligence. I watch over you every day and believe in yourself. You can do it. Oh, that's what I said. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to hop off. I need to make Gavin a snack and do some stuff. I am going to pop on, well, tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to pop on tomorrow at some point, probably around the same time. And maybe Tuesday. We will see. But thank you all so much for coming.